Okay, welcome to Math 60, Introductory Algebra. It introduces the algebraic concepts that are needed for future math-related courses, like Math 80. We don't assume any previous algebra skills, but we do assume some basic math skills that are covered in Math 40. And even there we will review many of those skills, however, fairly quickly. Well, perhaps one major difference of this course and some of your previous math classes is that it uses what's called the discovery method. And there's two major features of that. The first is that it's inquiry-based, which means your classes will be more like discussions rather than formal lectures. Your teacher will introduce ideas, raise questions. It's highly student-focused, it's engaging, but your teacher will not just hand you the answer to the questions. There's a strong focus on learning why things work. The goal here is to get students to some degree to construct their own foundation or framework for learning algebra. And the way you do that is by asking lots of questions and reflecting on the concepts. Try to think about things your own way, not just what the teacher writes on the board. Try to personalize it in that sense. That'll build a deeper understanding, and you're more likely to remember it as well. It will build your intuition and your confidence too, so that you'll be successful in future math classes. The second major idea in the discovery method, I like to use the phrase, math makes sense. All the algebraic concepts in this course follow from previous concepts developed in this course. There's a logical flow or progression of the ideas. In that sense, the course is self-contained. In fact, we ask that you not rely on previous algebraic knowledge, but rather focus on what we're doing in the classroom. There's a strong emphasis on vocabulary and definitions. In that sense, the course is in some ways fairly rigorous. If you do all those things, you'll actually realize that math makes sense. The major responsibility is on you, of course, as a student. What you should try to do before class is get your book and go to the front of the book that says "To the Student." If you don't have the book, then it's available online. Your instructor will email you a link to it, so you can read this before the first day of class. Basic things are, you got to be in class every day because that's where the learning takes place. The discovery method works only if you're there. Do the homework. If you get stuck on a problem, put a mark by it and finish the homework, and then the next day in class ask your instructor. Watch these videos. I work hard on these things. Please watch the videos. I think they might be helpful for many of you. Talk to your instructor. Find out your teacher's office hours and just make a habit of coming by there and talking to them about what's going on in class. Try visiting the Learning Support Center. That's in the first floor of Mukilteo Hall. They're very helpful in there. They know a lot about how Math 60 works. But the most important thing is you have to give yourself enough time to study. I think some students underestimate how much time it actually takes to be successful in math. If you work hard, you will do well. Never give up. Keep a positive attitude. Don't get frustrated and don't get down on yourself. Set high but realistic goals. If you do all these things, you will be successful, and you may even realize that math is fun. Good luck.
Okay, so let's get started here. So for each of these problem sets, there'll be a little video here that kind of introduces the idea. By no means is this an alternative to attending class every day. In fact, the ideal thing would be to watch these videos before class and try to think of some questions from the videos that you could ask in class. Sometimes I'll go fast on these videos, and I'll encourage you to hit the pause button. Oftentimes I'll have you do a couple, and then we'll go over them together. How about that? Anyway, so this first problem set isn't hard, although we are going to introduce some terminology that might be new to some of you. In terms of numbers, we're going to be talking about three basic types of numbers in the first chapter. Natural numbers or counting numbers start with 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Whole numbers are like the natural numbers, but you also include 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. The integers we'll spend a lot of time on in this chapter. You can think of the integers as the whole numbers together with all their opposites. So in class, your teacher will talk a lot about ways to think about these and so on. Of course, there's other types of numbers as well. In chapter 2, we're going to talk a lot about fractions, which are also called rational numbers. And then when you get to Math 80, you'll be talking about real numbers. So there's different types. But these are the ones we're going to focus on right now. What can you do with these numbers? Well, one thing you can do with these numbers is combine them. There's 4 basic operations we're going to use right now. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And something here this might be new to some of you, the idea of a sentence. In math, in English, a sentence, has a noun and a verb. It's similar in math, but the verb in math is the equal sign. Think of that as meaning is. So a sentence is numbers and operations that involve an equal sign. That's what makes it a sentence. So here's an example of a sentence. 13 plus 9 equals 22. In fact, this is what's called a closed sentence. It's closed sentence because you can determine by looking at it if it's true or false. Is it true or false that 13 plus 9 equals 22? It's true, right? So that way, technically, this would be called, not only is this a closed sentence, it's a true closed sentence. True closed sentence. And the other type of sentence besides a closed sentence would be what's called an open sentence. And an open sentence means you can't determine if it's true or not. In this example right here, 21 something 7 equals 3. It is a sentence. Do you know why it's a sentence? It's a sentence because it has the equal sign, right? Now, it's not closed because you can't determine if it's true or not. It depends on what's in the box. 21 something 7 equals 3. So depending on what you put in the box, you could put a plus sign in there. If you put a plus sign in there, would it be a true closed sentence or a false closed sentence? Why, it would be false, right? Because 21 plus 7 doesn't equal 3. Still be closed, it just would be false. Anyway, so what you're going to do here on this first homework problem set is you're going to have these open sentences like this on your homework. And what you're going to do is you're asked to fill in the box with one of the 4 basic operations that we talked about. You're going to put one of these 4 operations in the box to make it a true closed sentence. So for this first one, what would you put in the box to make it a true closed sentence? Would you put a plus, minus, times, or divide? This one would be times, right? There you go. Now it's a true closed sentence. See, that's not that bad, is it? Do a few more, and then I'll give you some to try. Alright, so first of all, is this a sentence? Would you call this a sentence right here? Yeah, it's a sentence because it has an equal sign. Is it open or closed? It's open because you can't tell if it's true or false. So what operation would you put in to make it a true closed sentence? Let's see, 22 something 9 equals 13. How about a minus sign? Right. Another one. Let's do one more, and then I'll give you some to try. This is an open sentence. It says 8 something 1 equals 8. So which operation would you put in to make it a true closed sentence? Why, let's see, a times would work, wouldn't it? But there's another one. Do you understand? A division would also work. You could put a division sign in there too, or couldn't you? Anyway, so there might be more than one possibility, as long as it's true, right?
Okay, so hit the pause button and try these 3.
Okay, on the first one, 12 something 9 equals 3, I'd put a minus sign. Now it's a true closed sentence, right? With the second one, 11 something 23 equals 34, how about a plus sign? On the last one, 6 something 1 equals 6, a times, or, in this case, a division would also work. So that isn't too bad, is it? Alright, so watch these videos and work hard, do lots of homework, come to class every day, and I'm sure you'll do fine in this class. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.